Tonight, to celebrate the release of Fallout Season 2, I decided to not only platinum Fallout 4, but to get 100% of all trophies. That means unlocking the 51 trophies in the base game, but also the additional 34 trophies from the 6 DLCs this game has, bringing our total trophy count up to a crazy 85 trophies. To get the platinum and 100%, we will need to beat the entire game several times, siding with each of the various factions in the game. Also, we have to hunt down and find all bobbleheads, save the Commonwealth from the Mechanist, build and maintain our very own vault, journey to Far Harbour in search for a missing person, become the overboss of Nuka-World and raid the Commonwealth, and finally, the best trophy in the entire game, we get to shut Preston Garvey up for 5 minutes. Before we begin, however, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, and with all that out of the way, let's begin. War Never Changes is our first trophy, and that is for completing the quest called War Never Changes. Our journey begins with us creating our character beside our loving wife, and I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen to her. And finally, after way too long, I was done creating our character. I then strolled around my house, drank some coffee and spoke with Codsworth, our robot. This is when we heard someone at the door, so obviously we answered it.
Good morning! Vault-Tec calling. Squidward!
Thankfully, we have been given access to Vault 111 for us, our wife and our son Shaun, in case the world is annihilated by nuclear war, which I'm sure won't happen. Here is when we allocate our special stats, and I know what you're thinking. What the fuck are those stats?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
But it's all built around using one weapon in particular, Adam's Judgment.
Now that's a lot of damage!
With that finished, we then fuck around with Shaun for a bit, but that's soon interrupted by news on the TV that nukes have been detonated all across America. So wasting no time at all, I burst past Nora and Shaun and start sprinting towards the vault. Thankfully, once we get there, the soldiers then allow us to enter the vault. We made it just in time to avoid the bombs being dropped.
Oh my god!
Hold on!
Go faster! Oh god! Oh god!
I mean, the only plus side of complete nuclear destruction is that France is definitely wiped out. Us and the other lucky few who were given access to the vault start to make our way around inside. But they tell us to jump into these cryo chambers before we can head further inside, so obviously us and everyone else get suited up and do just that. For some reason, however, we wake up inside the cryo chamber and see some strange looking people opening up Nora and Shaun's pod.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean!
After getting put back into cryo freeze again, sometime later our pod mysteriously opens. So we rush to check on Nora and obviously she's fucking dead. With everyone in the vault dead, we get armed up, take out our anger on a few overgrown roaches, and we also steal a Pip-Boy from one of the dead Vault-Tec scientists. This allows us to open the vault and escape. Finally, after an unknown amount of time down there, we return to the surface as the sole survivor. This gets us the first trophy of the video for entering the Wasteland. When Freedom Calls is the next main trophy we will earn, and is for completing the quest When Freedom Calls. With the world a little bit more fucked than we remember, we decide to head home. This is when we find our old pal Codsworth just chilling around the house, and he tells us it's been 210 years since the bombs fell. After getting him up to speed about what has happened to Shaun and Nora, he says that we might find people who can help us find Shaun in the nearby town of Concord. Before we done that, however, we got the Scaver trophy. I'd done this by simply scrapping tons of junk around Sanctuary Hills, which I think everyone does at the start of every playthrough. But after doing this, we got the trophy for gathering 1,000 resources. Fixer Upper was the next trophy we got, and I managed to bang this out quite easily by spam placing wooden shelves over and over again.
I know what kind of man you are.
which got us the trophy for building 100 items from the workshop. On our way to Concord, we also encountered the goodest boy in all the Commonwealth and the only companion to appear in basically every Fallout game. Arriving in Concord, we see some raiders are attacking the locals, so we get to work taking them out.
I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
After that massacre, we meet the biggest dickhead in the entire franchise, Preston Garvey, who is the last of the Minutemen, and he wants us to help him and his small band of survivors escape from the raiders. His pal Sturgis suggests we do this by stealing the power armor on the roof and blasting our way past the raiders with a nearby minigun. Even with an old and damaged suit, we're able to shrug off anything they throw at us while the minigun cuts them to pieces. But with us cutting down the raiders, we soon get the attention of something we really don't want to mess with. While the Deathclaw ducks and weaves to close the distance, I do not take my finger off the trigger. But thankfully these aren't the New Vegas Deathclaws, otherwise we would be cooked. So we do manage to kill the beast. With Concord cleared, Preston says he is going to take the survivors back to Sanctuary Hills, but he also tells us that if we want to find Shaun, we should head to Diamond City and ask around there. So after escorting Preston back to Sanctuary Hills, it doesn't take him too long before he reminds me, and I'm sure all of you, why we despise him.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Here we got a trophy for finishing the When Freedom Calls quest, and another trophy for reaching level 5. Our next trophy was another simple one involving Preston again, and this had us talking with him about the Minutemen, and he tells us that he wants to rebuild the Minutemen so he can help people in the Commonwealth. And this is when he asks us to join, and we accept. This got us a trophy for joining the Minutemen. After that, we got another easy trophy called Sanctuary, and this had us providing and building different resources for Preston and the other survivors. With this done, we got the trophy for finishing the quest. Our next two trophies were both from the Brotherhood of Steel quest line, so while heading towards Diamond City to find more information on Shaun, we picked up a distress signal on our Pip-Boy, so we went to investigate. Arriving in the area, we see a man in power armor getting swarmed by ghouls, so we decide to help him out. This has us, the stranger, and Dogmeat holding our position and killing dozens of ghouls as they continually rush towards our position. After killing them all, we speak with Paladin Dance here, who tells us that he is with the Brotherhood of Steel, and he requires more assistance to send a distress call for backup. Agreeing to help him, we follow him to ArcJet Systems to try and find the deep range transmitter. Entering the building, Dance warns us that the Institute is here, and this is worrying as these are synthetics designed to replace humans and are everything the Brotherhood of Steel has vowed to destroy. It doesn't take us too long before we encounter these synths, and both us and Dance get to work killing whatever ones we find. At the bottom of ArcJet Systems, we need to use a terminal to get further inside the building, but just as we activate the generators, wave after wave of synths drop down to kill Dance. Now, usually you would push the button and save Dance right away, but I plan on letting this go on just a little bit longer.
I'm fighting for my life!
After 15 minutes of fighting for his life, we activate the rocket engine and cook all of the synths, with Dance surviving due to his power armor. I then loot and dump all the Institute weapons on Dogmeat, which will make us an absolute fortune when we sell them all.
Register! I wouldn't want $1 million even smell.
Finally, however, we do find the deep range transmitter. With our objective completed, we speak with Dance outside and he makes us an offer.
The way I see it, you've got a choice. You could spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place, trading an extra hand for a meager reward. Or you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and make your mark on the world.
Wait, join the Giga Chads who strode around in power armor and blast everything in sight? Sign me up.
Yeah!
Here we got a trophy for reaching rank 10. We then speak with Dance again, and this is when he officially sponsors us to join the Brotherhood of Steel, which earns us the trophy for joining the Brotherhood of Steel. The next main trophy in our sights was the unlikely Valentine trophy. This takes us to Diamond City, where we see a woman called Piper has been locked outside, but with our help we're able to persuade the twats inside to open up. Entering Diamond City, I decided to bang out the home run trophy. So with Diamond City being built in a baseball park, we run around the city across all 4 bases, and this earns us a trophy for finishing a home run. After asking around, we get sent to meet with Nick Valentine, a detective in the city, but as we arrive we see only his secretary is here. This is when she tells us that Nick has been held prisoner by a local gang, so to find Shaun we need to find Nick first. Entering the station where Nick is being held, we turn into Negan and start using Lucille here to deadly effect.
Move, you gotta fuck it up, not the one who make the rules. Left, right, let me see you do it.
We then see that the gang here have been using a vault as their hideout, so we once again use the Pip-Boy to enter. And once inside, in our effort to find Nick, we smash several more heads in. Coming face to face with Nick, turns out he is actually a very old synth, and thank fuck he is, as he is able to break our way through several locked doors. Leaving together, we encounter the leader of the gang called Not So Skinny Malone. Leave this to me, Nick. I have 1 point in charisma. I know what I'm doing.
Hey, I'm the one in charge here. You got something to say? Say it to me.
You're fat, you're ugly, and it's time you and your crazy bitch said goodbye.
This is when Mike fucking Tyson takes over Darla's body here, and she just beats the absolute shit out of us for 20 seconds until finally I'm able to smash her head in with the bat. I also managed to lift Not So Skinny Malone and smash him into the ground and then kill him. With Nick free, he thanks us and says to meet him back in his office, and together we can work on finding Shaun together. This got us the trophy for finishing the unlucky Valentine quest. Reunions is the next main trophy we will be working towards. Back in Nick's office, he is asking us various questions about Shaun's kidnapping, and we tell him about the man who we seen.
Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
No. They never said their names.
Our duo then enter Kellogg Cornflake's house, and we begin searching for any clues. But all we find are some cigars, so Nick thinks we let Dogmeat follow the scent and see where it leads us. Early that morning we set out to hunt Kellogg down, but it's not until later that night that Dogmeat arrives at the location where he is hiding. Once inside, we are soon attacked by several synths, which is worrying because that means Kellogg is working with the Institute. As we head deeper inside, Kellogg invites us to speak with him. Finally, we come face to face with the bald cunt. But before we kill him, he tells us a little bit more about Shaun.
End the line, Kellogg. You die, and I get my son back.
You can turn around right now. Go back the way you came. Shaun. Now, besides being a bit older than you were expecting, I'm afraid he's not even here.
This is when he drops the bombshell that Shaun is safe inside the Institute, so with no more information to give us, this is when I decide to kill him, which goes pretty well until his synths blast us from close range and he turns invisible. But we manage to slice his throat open with the sword and kill him. And so dies all the Kellogg cereal jokes with him. We managed to earn the Future Retro trophy next, which we got while looting the area. We found a holotape with a game on it, which I plugged into the Pip-Boy, earning us the trophy for playing a holotape game. Nick decides to head back to Diamond City as he wants to speak with Piper, as she is always seeking information on the Institute, so if someone might know something, it's her. As we leave, however, we see someone has called in the cavalry.
Do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
With the Brotherhood of Steel arriving in force, we report back to Dance and he tells us that Elder Maxon has brought the Pridwin to the Commonwealth. This is when we board a vertibird with Dance so we can report to Elder Maxon. Shortly after this, we get to meet the man himself.
Beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They call their creation the Synth. A robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. Therefore, the Institute and their Synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. Ad Victoriam.
Ad Victoriam.
We're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Speaking with Maxon, he instantly promotes us to knight because we're just cool as shit. We then meet with Ingram, who has a fresh suit of power armor for us to use, and then Maxon sends us and Dance to clear out a nearby fort full of super mutants as they are sitting on a stockpile of nukes. So both of us armored up, and on board the vertibird we do strafing runs of the mutants on the ground, especially targeting the behemoth. And after dumping several hundred rounds into him, he drops dead and we can finally get our boots on the ground. Once inside, I rush on ahead, hacking and slashing, while Dance picks off a few with his laser rifle. Reporting back to Maxon, he tells us with the nuke secure, they can focus on the reason they really came to the Commonwealth, and that's to destroy the Institute. Back to finding the Institute, we speak with Nick and Piper, and Nick has a ridiculous idea that we use some of Kellogg's brain to view his memories to see what we can learn. This will lead us to a place called the Memory Den in Good Neighbor. After this, we got a trophy for finishing the Reunion's quest. Dangerous Minds is the next trophy we're going to earn. As both us and Nick arrive in Good Neighbor, we soon learn that this place has more knife crime than London. Inside the Memory Den, however, we speak with Nick's friend Dr. Amari, and giving her some of Kellogg's brain, she thinks that we can view his earliest memories. So me and Nick both enter one of the pods each to start to view his memories. This is when we see a younger Kellogg and the first time he met someone from the Institute. And yeah, if he didn't shoot our wife in the head and steal our son, I would say he's pretty fucking cool. Speaking of which, we get to watch him headshot Nora again, which was depressing.
Shaun!
Finally, we see him with Shaun, and both Shaun and the other man teleport back to the Institute, explaining why no one can find the place. We also learned of a scientist called Virgil who escaped the Institute and was Kellogg's next target, so we decide to find him instead. This got us a trophy for finishing the Dangerous Minds quest. The Hunter/Hunted trophy is the next one we will be earning, and this takes us to the glowing sea in pursuit of Virgil.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Thankfully, the radiation junkies are here, also known as the Children of Adam, and they tell us exactly where Virgil is hiding. Outside the cave he is in, we also destroy a Deathclaw with ease, thanks to the Tesla cannon from Fallout 3, which has been added to the Creation Club, so thank you, Todd, for adding completely balanced weapons. Inside, we see Virgil is actually a smart super mutant, which is ironic, but he tells us if we want to teleport inside the Institute, we're going to need to kill a synth Corsair and steal its chip. It doesn't take us too long to hunt down and come face to face with a Corsair, and after beating the shit out of him, we give him the Kellogg treatment. This got us a trophy for finishing the Hunter/Hunted quest. Before heading back to Virgil, however, we managed to pick up a few more trophies, with the first one being the Unstoppable Wanderer trophy, which we got for hitting level 25. Taking Independence and Old Guns were both up next, and both these trophies are for helping the Minutemen. This is when Preston wants us to help him retake the castle, the former stronghold of the Minutemen. Later that day, we meet with him and a Minutemen strike force to retake the castle. This once again was made extremely easy by just destroying any and all Mirelocks with the Tesla cannon. A Mirelock Queen then appears out of nowhere, but before she can even make it on land, she gets deleted by the cannon. We then repair and power up the old Minutemen radio once the castle is secured. This gets us a trophy for finishing the Taking Independence quest. After this, we meet with Bonnie Shaw, a veteran of the Minutemen, and she tells us about the secrets of the castle. After searching around the ruins, we managed to access the tunnels underground. This then leads us to the armory and allows us to rebuild the artillery that Minutemen use. With the quest finished, we earn yet another trophy. The molecular level is the next main trophy we got, but we also earned the tradecraft trophy while obtaining this. So we return to Amari and she says she cannot crack the Corsair's chip, but the Railroad can, being a hidden group who freeze since they are secretive as fuck, so we have to follow the Freedom Trail to find them. After that, we then have to solve a puzzle where we simply type in Railroad. As we enter their headquarters, we can see we are expected and get confronted by the leader of the Railroad, Desdemona, who isn't too keen on us breaking in. Luckily, Deacon here is able to convince her to let us inside. This is when we give the Corsair chip to Tinker Tom, and he manages to crack the code. With her realizing we can be useful, this is when she officially offers us a chance to join the Railroad, which we accept, and this gets us a trophy for joining the Railroad. With that step complete, we meet back with Virgil and we tell him that the Railroad managed to crack the code, which leads to probably the funniest dialogue in the game.
God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or...
He then tells us that we need to build a device that will allow us to teleport inside the Institute. Obviously, I enlist the help of Maxon and the Brotherhood of Steel as we are going to need considerable resources and help building the device. And after hunting down half the technology in the Commonwealth, we finally are able to build the device. With Ingram overseeing the device, she is able to teleport us inside the Institute. This earns us a trophy for finishing the molecular level quest. Institutionalized is the next trophy up for grabs, and once inside the Institute, we use a program to scan the entire Institute for Maxon. Just as we finish doing this, a man called Father starts to speak with us and urges us to use the elevator. This is when we really see the Institute, and I can't lie, it's pretty cool. But this is when we finally get to reunite with our son, Shaun.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Please, Shaun, I'm your father. Talk to me. Just open the door.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me!
We then see this man shut down Shaun and then introduce himself.
Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Obviously, I threaten to cave his fucking head in like Gregor Clegane style, but he interrupts us before we do.
It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Shaun. I am your son.
Turns out after Kellogg killed our wife, we were frozen for another 60 years, explaining why he is the age he is. But he does allow us free rein to explore the Institute and ask any questions. Immediately, I take this moment to recruit a former Brotherhood of Steel scientist, Dr. Lee, back to the cause, and if you recognise the name, that's because she is indeed from Fallout 3. We then speak with a few of the top scientists in the Institute, and after talking to them all, we get the trophy for finishing the quest, Institutionalized. The next trophy we started to work towards was called Blind Betrayal. Reporting back to Maxon, we tell him everything, and he is pretty glad we managed to recruit Dr. Lee again, as she is going to help us with a new project. Ingram then shows us what this is, and I'd recognise that big metal head anywhere.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Turns out we are planning on rebuilding none other than Liberty Prime, and this is why we needed Dr. Lee. So we kick this off by building 4 actuators for his arms and legs. This is then followed up by us and Dan securing a massive stash of mini nukes for Liberty Prime to use in battle. For anyone who doesn't know, he chucks mini nukes at people. With Dr. Lee giving us the go-ahead, we then power up Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime, back online. Primary targets. Any and all red Chinese invaders.
This is a moment in history! Take a picture!
Oh, the Institute is so fucked. As we report our success to Maxon, he is slightly more pissed than usual, and we soon learn why.
Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace.
Turns out the network scan we done revealed Dance to be a synth, so we are ordered to kill our former mentor. Eventually we managed to track our friend to a hidden listening post. Face to face with him, he explains he only found out he was a synth after we scanned the Institute network. So, being the soldier he is, he wants us to kill him. Obviously, I refuse and convince him to leave the area before he is hunted down and killed. Just as we both make it to the surface, however, we see Maxon followed us here, so these two old friends have one last conversation.
It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine.
All the blood I've spilled in our name. How can you say that about
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Dance. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured.
I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur.
With Maxon still thinking he deserves to die, we step in and pull in every single favour we have with the Brotherhood of Steel, convince Maxon to spur Dance, which he does, but he is exiled from the Brotherhood of Steel. Thankfully, with that dilemma sorted, we speak with Maxon again and he promotes us to the rank of Paladin. This gets us a trophy for finishing the quest, Blind Betrayal. Ad Victorium is the next trophy we will be earning, so we report to Captain Kells as he is putting together a team to wipe the railroad off the map, with us obviously leading the attack. Charging into the railroad's HQ fully armoured and wielding a sledgehammer with a rocket attached, we start to hunt down and wipe out the railroad's leadership one at a time, starting with the Doctor. After blowing our way past the secret entrance, we march towards the HQ, and this is when we wipe out the railroad.
I've been looking forward to this.
With those little freaks destroyed, we speak with Ingram and she says that Liberty Prime is ready to destroy the Institute. So after getting a slight upgrade in the power armor department, making us near unkillable at this point, we then plug in Liberty Prime's power source. Powered up and full of nukes, we see the big fucker is ready to destroy any and all communists in the way. As we escort him, we see several synths try ambush him, but Prime simply chucks a fucking mini nuke at them. Seeing that the bridge is destroyed, Prime decides the quickest way across is just a walk across the lake. But as we come out the other side, we see World War III is happening as Prime is tossing nukes all over the place and multiple vertibirds are circling overhead. As we get closer to the Institute, we see the stupid behemoth charges at Prime, and yeah, my money's on the walking, talking robot of death. Arriving at the CIT ruins, he blasts us an entrance into the Institute, and just for good measure, he tosses a nuke to clear it out for us before we enter. Here, we got the trophy for finishing the Ad Victorium quest. Next up, we got 3 trophies which we will all be earning at the same time. As we storm the Institute, Maxon gives us a bomb to plant on the reactor. With us leading the charge, I do my best Darth Vader impression as we mow down wave after wave of enemies, while towering over everyone in our black armour. We then finally arrive inside the main part of the Institute, and I start by butchering the scientists, and we also 1v1 a gorilla. This is when we head to Shaun's room and we find him on his deathbed.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Obviously, with no time for that, we use his password to shut down most of the remaining synths, and with Maxon's help, we managed to push towards and plant the bomb on the reactor. Thankfully, Ingram teleported us out before we both got killed. With us having the best seats in the house, we pushed the button and witnessed the destruction of the Institute.
We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
This got us the trophy for finishing the nuclear option quest, another trophy for deciding the fate of the Commonwealth, and we got another trophy for reaching level 50. With the Institute destroyed and Shaun gone, I decide to sit down and listen to the holotape from before the war.
Hi, honey. Listen, I don't think that Shaun and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? You are kind and loving and funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. Look, with Shaun and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family. Now, say goodbye, Shaun. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
After finishing the Brotherhood of Steel endings, I then had to reload a save to get all the other endings. I decided to do the Institute ending next, and while doing this, we earned 4 trophies. This has us actually working with Shaun and the Institute this time, doing various different things for them, but mainly we recover some rogue synths and return them to the Institute. After a few quests completed, this is when Shaun decides to tell us that we will take over the Institute after he is gone, as he is terminally ill. This got us the trophy for finishing the Mankind Redefined quest. With us being in charge now, we must decide what to do about the Brotherhood of Steel, and sadly we have to wipe them out, though we plan on hijacking Liberty Prime and using him to take out the Pridwin. This got us the trophy for finishing the Powering Up quest. Storming the Brotherhood of Steel base on our own, we start to take out their air support first before moving in. With us completely surrounded, however, we have to duck and cover while picking off any enemies. This leads to our next trophy for killing 300 humans. Sadly, during this attack, I killed Maxon with a rocket launcher.
What have I done?
And with Prime being hacked, he is able to shoot down and destroy the Pridwin. Meeting back with a dying Shaun, he thanks us for helping him take over the Commonwealth. This got us a trophy for completing the Institute's ending. Lastly, we had to do the shitty railroad ending, which thankfully only has 2 trophies for us to get. Firstly, we had to enter the Institute, but this time using the railroad to help us. Basically, everything stays the same, except inside the Institute we organise a revolution with half of the synths who want to break free. While we are telling Desdemona this, we hear the Brotherhood of Steel are attacking, so we have to defend the HQ. This got us a trophy for finishing the Underground Undercover quest. With the Brotherhood of Steel attacking the HQ, we managed to funnel them into a choke point and just rip them to shreds using a minigun we found. But not planning on waiting around, us, Deacon and Tinker Tom decide to steal a vertibird as we are going to board and then blow up the Pridwin. Once on board for the second fucking time, I am forced to kill Elder Maxon. Just as we get out of the blast range, we blow the explosives and the Pridwin gets destroyed yet again. This gets us a trophy for getting the railroad ending. With all the different endings finished, we then just had to clean up the majority of the base game trophies before we moved on to the DLCs. This started with us getting 2 trophies, the Ranger Corps trophy and the Community Organizer trophy. We got these trophies while I was trying to recruit 3 different settlements to join the Minutemen, and while I was heading to to clear out a nearby raider base for the settlement, we got the Ranger Corps trophy for discovering 100 locations. Arriving where the raiders were based, we killed every last one of them with ease, and after telling the settlers this, they decided to join the Minutemen. This got us a trophy for allying with 3 settlements. Next up, I worked towards getting both the Armed and Dangerous trophy as well as the Wasteland DIY trophy. After spending several minutes making different mods for our weapons, we got the first trophy for creating 50 weapon mods. The next trophy was similar, but I only spam made caltrops, and after creating 100 of these, we got the trophy. Never Go It Alone was the next trophy I aimed for, which required us to recruit 5 companions. With 3 companions already recruited, I found and recruited McCready. I then followed this up by speaking and recruiting Kate, and once she joined us, we got the trophy. Touchdown was the next trophy I got, and it's possibly the easiest and also stupidest trophy in the entire game. We get the trophy for blowing ourselves up with a mini nuke. I then managed to get the animal control trophy next completely by accident, as we need to kill 300 wasteland creatures, which got triggered when some roaches jumped out and got cooked alive by the Tesla coils on my power armor, earning us the animal control trophy. I then spent quite a while working towards the Gun for Hire trophy, which has us finishing 10 side quests all across the Commonwealth. So we got some baseball mementos for Mo here, painted some of Diamond City green, stopped a maniac doctor who was a secret serial killer, and finally, while we were halfway through finishing the Cabot family quests, the trophy popped for us. After this, we got a similar trophy called Mercenary, which had us completing 50 miscellaneous quests this time. This had us getting some drugs for a junkie, also returning an egg and befriending a Deathclaw, and finally, while we collected Pikmin's reward, we got the trophy. Our next trophy was the Harder They Fall, and this was earned by killing 5 giant enemies. Obviously, I started by hunting down and battering Swan here. I then followed this up by killing not 1, but 2 Marlock Queens, and finally I managed to hunt down and kill 1 last behemoth. This then got us the trophy. Prince Not Dead was next on our list, and this had us searching for 20 magazines to read. And honestly, these are the only collectibles I don't mind finding, as they actually give you bonuses. But after finding 20 of them, we got the trophy. We then had 2 trophies next for basically the same thing, finding both 10 and then 20 bobbleheads. These again are actually fun to find, as they give you small permanent bonuses to your stats, but we soon got the trophy for finding 10 bobbleheads, and after hunting down some more across the Commonwealth, we finally found all of them, getting us our second trophy. So Yours Is Mine is the next trophy we got, which was for lockpicking 50 times, which obviously we eventually managed to get. This was followed by the Robco's Worst Nightmare trophy, where we had to hack 50 terminals, which after having to dump several perk points into intelligence, we were able to do, and this got us the trophy. Prankster's Return was up next, and this had us placing a live grenade on someone without them noticing, and I have just the perfect person to do it. So yeah, let's just say I got sick of this old bag asking me for Jet. With the grenade placed, we run away, and how the fuck did she survive? Anyway, we got the trophy. Lovable was the last main game trophy I earned before starting the DLC, and this was simply for reaching max affinity with a companion. So I just flirted with Piper for about 5 minutes, raising her affinity, and this got us the trophy. With only 1 main trophy left for the Platinum, I decided now was the best time to start all of the DLCs. So I started with the Wasteland Workshop DLC, and this only has 3 trophies to offer. This DLC quite literally allows you to build cages and trap various creatures from around the Commonwealth, and then use them in brutal arena fights or keep them tamed. The first trophy we got was called Instigator, and this was for staging a fight inside our settlement. Now this trophy sounded a lot more straightforward than what it was, but with Fallout 4's shitty AI, this took quite a few tries. But eventually we got the Instigator trophy. Next up was the Trapper trophy, which simply has us build 1 of every cage type, which again did take quite a bit of time, as we have to hunt down all of the materials, but after building each cage once, we got the trophy. With our cages all built, this allowed us to earn the Docile trophy, which was for having 5 tamed creatures in our settlements at once. I done this by accidentally letting them all free at once like a retard, but we did get the trophy after doing this. With that DLC 100%ed, we moved on to the next one, the Contraptions Workshop, which also only had 3 trophies to offer. This DLC adds in several new things to build for our settlements and also allows us to create our own materials. Show Off was the first of 3 trophies we got, and this was earned by displaying each a weapon, armour and suit of power armour on display, and after displaying all 3 we got the Show Off trophy. Our next trophy was called Timeout, and surprisingly I enjoyed this one a lot more as we had to force a settler into a pillory here, and I know just the man for the job. Once we assigned the settler, we did manage to get the trophy. That is for fucking pestering me all game, you prick, about settlements. Mass production was the last trophy in this DLC, and this required us to create 100 items using the new builders. After building 4 of them, I then added some steel, and we see this creates steel balls for us. So I put all 4 to work and went and got myself a coffee. As I came back, we managed to unlock the trophy. The Vault-Tec Workshop is the last of the smaller DLCs with yet only 3 trophies required. And if the name didn't give it away, this DLC allows you to create and manage your very own vault. After picking up on a distress signal, we enter some tunnels and clear out a group of raiders trying to get inside Vault 88. With them dead, we once again use the Pip-Boy to open and enter Vault 88. Inside, we meet with the ghoulish overseer who has been trapped down here since before the war. After talking for some time, she wants us to help her rebuild the vault and carry out some experiments on who chooses to live here. This kicks off the journey to earn the Oversight Trophy, which has us becoming the overseer of Vault 88. Before we get to work, however, I decided to tidy the place up a little bit first. While doing this, we managed to earn the Better Living Underground trophy, which had us heading to each part of the vast tunnel section down here and activating each of the workbenches. Once we activated them all, this unlocked us the trophy. I then did spend far too long trying to make the vault actually look half respectable, as we had to build an overseer's desk before we could continue the quest line. And with the desk built, we had news of incoming settlers from the outside who were looking to join the vault. This will lead us getting the Vault Dweller trophy. So as a few settlers from outside arrive, we find Clem here, who is perfect for our experiments, and we allow him to stay. We then got a trophy for equipping him with the vault suit and Pip-Boy. After this, we set up multiple experiments within the vault, and some of them go better than others. Including us drugging the free drinks, sending subliminal messages to their brains, and turning Clem into a gambling addict. But when all these experiments are complete, the Overseer decides now it's time for her to leave and for us to become the Overseer. This then gets us the trophy for becoming Vault 88's Overseer. With the 3 smaller DLCs wrapped up, we then moved on to the Automatron DLC, which has 5 trophies up for grabs. Obviously, this DLC adds the ability to build your own robots and also adds a brand new villain to the Commonwealth. Since there's no couriers in Fallout, unlike Skyrim, we always start these DLCs by listening to a radio station, and we hear some people are being attacked nearby. This will lead to us getting the Mechanical Menace trophy. As we arrive, we put our super sledge to some use and we smash absolutely everything in sight, saving a friendly robot from being destroyed. Turns out this robot is called Ada and wishes to avenge her friends by taking down the Mechanist, who has unleashed these robots on the Commonwealth. This is when Ada decides to join us. Here we got a trophy for finishing the Mechanical Menace quest. The Most Toys was the next trophy we unlocked, and we got this while upgrading Ada, as she needed an MSAT installed to be able to track the Mechanist robot. But after building 10 robot mods, we got the trophy. Using the MSAT, we were able to track down and destroy several robo-brains, while Ada is telling us about another robo-brain nearby. While doing this, we also did manage to get the Robot Hunter trophy, which we unlocked for picking up 10 robot mods. Head Hunted was the next trophy that we managed to unlock, and after tracking down yet another robo-brain, we speak with her inside a raider camp. Here she agrees to tell us where to find the Mechanist if we can help her escape and make her a brand new body. Obviously, as we steal her, Ahab the sentry bot wakes up, but we're able to swiftly put him back to sleep. After that, we also clear out the few remaining robots and the raider leader of the camp. Back at the castle, I decided to create the shittest body possible.
How could you do this to me?
But a deal is a deal, and she tells us where we can find the Mechanist. This got us the trophy for finishing the head hunting quest. The last trophy in this DLC is called Restoring Order. With everything we need to defeat the Mechanist, us and Ada head out. Finally, we arrive at the secret lair, and yeah, how many fucking doors do you need?
24 hours later.
With this being the Mechanist lair, as you can expect, there is so many robots here to fight through. From tough sentry bots to shitty junk bots, we quite literally destroy them all. But finally, after hundreds of dead robots and 47 locked doors later, we confront the Mechanist.
Halt, miscreants! You may have infiltrated my sanctum and destroyed my robots, but your reign of terror ends here!
Shut up, bitch!
To no one's surprise, the Mechanist launches more robots at us, and there's only so many times I can smash an iBot before he has to realise they're utter useless. With that not working, he mixes things up by dropping mines and trying to shock us, but once again I use the jetpack to avoid any damage. With the facility using every last bit of available power, it doesn't take too long before everything shuts down. Finally, we come face to face with the Mechanist, and it's a woman. Yeah, that kind of explains why everything she touched just turned to shit. She explains that she was planning on saving the Commonwealth, whereas her robots were actually butchering everyone they found. So using her password, we're able to shut down every last robot. With Ada's companions avenged and the robots stopped, we saved the Commonwealth yet again. This gets us the trophy for finishing the Restoring Order quest. Finally, we arrive at the last two DLCs, and we really did save the best for last. Far Harbour is next, and it adds 10 trophies for us to earn. Set in a mysterious island north of the Commonwealth, Far Harbour adds new enemies, factions, and a complete new location for us to explore. The first trophy we will earn is called Far From Home, and this is for arriving in Far Harbour. So the DLC begins with us speaking with Ellie in Nick's detective agency, and she tells us of a family who needs help locating their missing daughter. This is when we meet with the Nakano family, and they want us to find where their daughter Kasumi has disappeared to. And after some searching around, we find a holotape that explains she headed to the island of Far Harbour to find a synth colony, as for some reason she believes she is a synth. I thought I was done with these fuckers when I blew up the Institute, but apparently not. So we borrow the Nakano's fishing boat and begin our journey to Far Harbour. Fuck me, this place looks terrifying. As we arrive, however, we get a trophy for arriving in Far Harbour. Just as we are getting a warm welcome from the locals, they freak out and say they are being attacked. Luckily, we have the greatest invention known to man, the Tesla cannon, and just delete every single enemy that attacks Far Harbour.
What can I say except you're welcome?
With that done, the Where You Belong is the next trophy we aimed for, and after the attack we speak with Avery, the leader of the settlement of Far Harbour, and she tells us that Kasumi passed through here and headed to Arcadia. To find Kasumi, however, we are told to recruit the aid of Longfellow here, who can guide us towards the synth refuge. And as we follow the old man, we soon hear that there's some dangerous shit hiding out in the fog.
I'm scared to death. I'm frightened and I don't know what to do. I'm confused and I want to go home.
Shortly after this, we do arrive outside Arcadia without any further trouble. Once inside, we speak with Dima, the leader of the colony, and we ask him to speak with Kasumi. This is when he starts getting really tricky and tries gaslight us into thinking that we are synths. Honestly, Dima, just stop. One phone call and I will have the entire Brotherhood of Steel parked outside this refuge ready to turn you into scrap metal. After putting him in his place though, we speak with Kasumi and she explains why she won't leave yet.
What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret here on this island. Something way more important than just one lost girl.
Agreeing to help her, we plan on listening in on one of Dima's conversations to see what they are hiding in Arcadia. It doesn't take us too long to get into position, and this is when we learn that Dima has deleted a lot of his old memories and they're currently being stored in the submarine base, which just happens to be full of children of Adam cultists. With that information, we steal a program that can hack Dima's old memories. So we inform Kasumi that we need to enter the submarine base to find out what Dima is hiding. This got us a trophy for finishing the Where You Belong quest. I quickly decided to get the Push Back the Fog trophy next, which we got by unlocking 3 settlements on the island. So I raced around the island unlocking every workshop I could find, and after the 3rd one we got the trophy. After that we got the Hooked Up trophy, which we got for killing 30 Far Harbour creatures. This includes killing a massive hermit crab disguised as a van, killing the 100th Marler Queen this video, and hunting down the notorious Red Death. But after 30 kills, we got the trophy. Finally, however, we arrived outside the submarine base, and these aren't the first children of Adam cultists we have met, but these ones are just a little bit more extreme.
Richter, this is insane. You can't expect us to...
Will there be anything else?
That'll be all, sister.
Thank you, Grand Zealot.
Yo, what the fuck? That was so fucked up, you guys.
We then speak with the Arc Zealot Richter here, and he won't allow us inside the base until we pass the trial. The trial involves us drinking irradiated water and having a drugged up vision of a woman in the fog, so yeah.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
While doing this, we got the New England Vacationer trophy, which we got for discovering 20 locations in Far Harbour. After following the vision, she leads us to a mother icon, which we take, and showing this to Richter, he starts freaking the fuck out, as apparently this is a sign from Adam. So he decides to let us enter the base. Inside the base, we see the High Confessor is giving a speech, and yeah, these guys are actually insane.
We will claim the secrets hidden away by that accursed robot, and with them, we will wipe Far Harbour from the island. Glory to Atom! Glory to Atom!
Finally, we meet with the High Confessor and we tell him that we can access Dima's memories, so he allows us to join the cult in exchange for the information we learn. This is when I get my hands on the greatest weapon in this entire game.
This right here is my favorite thing, ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day.
After getting past a few security measures, we finally have access to Dima's memories, and this leads to the shittest missions in this entire franchise. Seriously, whoever designed this needs to be executed. But after completing all 5 of these missions, we learn that Dima killed someone and replaced them in Far Harbour with a synth. He has the nuclear key to blow up the children of Adam, and he can turn off the wind turbines, keeping the fog away from Far Harbour. So we hunt down and find the wind turbine code, track down and take the nuclear launch key, and we find the grave of the person Dima killed. Turns out this is the real Avery, and the one in Far Harbour is a synth who Dima killed and then replaced so he could manipulate the people of Far Harbour. The way life should be is the next trophy we earned, and we done this by confronting Dima about his shenanigans, and he basically says that's awful. But also we could do it again and kill the High Confessor to keep the children of Adam in line.
No, I don't think I will.
Sadly for Dima, I am a die-hard rad junkie now, and I refuse to do this and convince him to turn himself into Far Harbour so that they can deliver justice. Obviously, the people in Far Harbour are rational, calm, and willing to listen to Dima as he explains why he killed one of their own.
Mitch.
This got us a trophy for finishing the Way Life Should Be quest. With Dima's head plastered all over the walls of Far Harbour, we tell Kasumi to return home before shit hits the fan. Cleansing the Land is the last story-related trophy in Far Harbour, and this requires us to wipe out either the children of Adam or the people of Far Harbour. And seeing that the rad-worshipping psychos gave me my favourite weapon, I decided to side with them. And we also tell the High Confessor that we can turn off the wind turbines leading to Far Harbour's demise, which, after a few clicks on the terminal, we managed to do. With the place covered in fog crawlers, mirelurks and anglers, we push inside and I start to put Adam's judgment to good use. After executing everyone and reclaiming the island for the rad junkies, the High Confessor is pretty pleased with us, but we also earned the Cleansing the Land trophy for finishing the quest. Just to add salt water was the next trophy we got, and it was pretty straightforward. Just make some food from Far Harbour, which we got after grilling some hermit crab. The Islander's Almanac was next, and this had us hunting down some more magazines scattered across the island, and these added some pretty decent bonuses to our stats. And after finding them all, we got another trophy. Close to home was the last trophy we got, and we finally headed back to the Nakano residence. Inside we see Kasumi and her family have been reunited, and all it costed was an entire settlement slaughtered, several dead since, and the rad junkies with the ability to nuke the island.
I see this as an absolute win.
But this got us the last trophy for finishing the DLC. Finally, we arrive at the last DLC, Nuka-World, which adds 10 more trophies for us to earn. Set in the theme park of Nuka-World, the last DLC for Fallout 4 has us becoming the boss of an entire army of raiders. While out exploring, we once again pick up a radio signal, but it's from Nuka-World, so obviously we have to investigate.
When's your thirst for adventure and Nuka-World?
Just as we arrive at the transit station, it seems like we aren't the only ones who love theme parks, as some gunners are also here, but they don't stand a chance.
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Inside, we find a man called Harvey who says he is hurt and his family has been taken by the raiders, yet he isn't even covered in blood, so I smash his head in and then jump onto the train to head to Nuka-World. As we journey to the theme park, a man called Gage tells us that we are about to run the gauntlet, a set of traps and enemies to overcome, and then we will face the final test. Finally arriving in Nuka-World, this sets us up to earn our first trophy, taken for a ride. As soon as we start the gauntlet, we begin by blasting our way past waves and waves of turrets. I follow this up by slowly moving my way forward and disarming all the traps we come across, while also jumping over a few others. After that, we arrive at the old 3-door trick. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the door on the left. This is then followed up with us running into a room full of radiation barrels, but thankfully the rad junkies from Far Harbour have made me fully rad resistant, so this does nothing to us. Once we finish the gauntlet, we see our real last challenge is wearing a pretty shitty suit of power armor.
There's my next victim now. Don't look like much. Think that power armor will do you any good?
Before we face Coulter here, Gage speaks to us again and says this next fight is rigged, as the suit of power armor Coulter wears will be electrified and is immune to damage, so he has a weapon that can take him down. Surely it's a Fat Man or another stronger Tesla cannon. You have got to be taking the fucking piss out of me.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Disciples! Are you ready for blood? And the pack! Are you ready for things to get wild? Operators! Are you ready to see me notch another kill? And you! Are you ready to die?
I was born ready, motherfucker.
With the 1v1 starting, we rush out and get Coulter wet. And with the water making the armor short circuit, I take Adam's judgment and smash him across the face several times until he's dead. This is when Gage announces that because we killed Coulter in a 1v1, we have become the new overboss of every single raider in Nuka-World. So he tells us to explore a bit and then meet him at our new headquarters. This got us a trophy for finishing the Taken for a Ride quest. Speaking with Gage alone, he tells us that there are 3 different gangs here in Nuka-World, each with their own leader who answers to us. First, we meet with Nisha, the leader of the Disciples, who are essentially bloodthirsty little psychos. Next up, we meet with William and Mags Black, who lead the operators and they only care about making caps. And lastly, we meet the furry freaks called the Pack, who is led by Mason. This starts us on our journey to get the Grand Tour trophy, which will have us taking over each of the 6 parks in Nuka-World. As Gage tells us, Coulter got lazy and refused to do it, so if we want the gangs to follow us, this is what we have to do. Starting with the first park, Galactic Zone, we discover the place is full of rogue robots for us to kill. After this, we see we need to find 20 star cores to shut down all the robots, and this will clear the park for our raiders. So us and Gage spend way too long hunting down all these cores hidden around the park, but eventually we find 20 and shut down all the robots. With the park clear, we then give it to the Disciples. Next, we head to Kitty Kingdom, which sounds like Jimmy Savile's wet dream. As we enter, however, we get attacked by a ton of painted ghouls. So as usual, we start to swing the hammer around until nothing is left but body parts. As we search the park, I nearly broke all over the fucking place due to these spinning lights. Like, seriously, this gave me such a sore head. But soon, we come face to face with the person who lives here.
I'll admit, I didn't think you'd make it this far.
Just as I try to whack the little prick, he disappears, so we have to kill some more of his painted ghouls. But finally, on the roof of Kitty Kingdom, we're able to kill him and the last of the painted ghouls. I then give this park to the Pact. Next was Dry Rock Gulch, which was pretty straightforward. We just had to hunt down and kill all of the bloodworms buried underneath the park, and with them all dead, we gave the park to the Disciples. With that finished, we headed inside the world of refreshment, and it's infested with Nuka-Lurks. And of course, a Nuka-Lurk queen shows up, but we give her the Tesla cannon treatment just like the Marla queen back at the castle. And after this, we also give it to the Disciples. You can see there's a wee bit of favoritism going on here. Lastly, we headed to the Safari Adventure, and here we kill a gator claw straight away, and this is when we meet Sito. Sito is quite literally a man raised by gorillas and warns us about the sheer number of gator claws inside the park. But with some power armor and my trusty hammer, we managed to kill them all. With that done, we give the park to the Pack. Speaking with Gage, he congratulates us on uniting all the park under our leadership.
People say I am the best boss. I think that pretty much sums it up.
But with this finished, we can now turn our eyes towards the Commonwealth. Here we got a trophy for finishing the Grand Tour quest. I then aimed for the All Sugared Up trophy next, and this requires us to kill 40 enemies while drinking Nuka-Cola. So after downing a few Nuka-Cola, we ran around killing any enemies we could find, and after killing 40 enemies, we got the trophy. Next up, we got the Raiding for a Living trophy. This had us completing 12 different quests for the different raider leaders. So we ambushed and killed some Minutemen for Mags and William Black, made a raider veteran a slave for Mason, and assassinated someone for Nisha. And after doing 12 of these quests, we got the trophy. Librarian was the next trophy we unlocked, and this was simply for finding every Scav magazine, which surprisingly didn't take me too long to find them all. I got the Beverager trophy after this, and we done this by making one of every Nuka-Cola drink possible. But before we do this, we had to find the recipes for each drink scattered throughout Nuka-World. With all the recipes gathered, we then spam made every single one of the drinks, and this got us the trophy. Eyes on the Prize was easily the most annoying and time consuming trophy, as we had to redeem 100,000 tickets at the arcade. This requires us to play the arcade games, and I just done this by spam crouching non-stop for hours to get enough tickets to redeem. Eventually, however, we got the 100,000 tickets needed. Home Sweet Home and Hostile Takeover are the next 2 trophies we earn, and this is when we meet Shank, who will be in charge of the operation to invade the Commonwealth. So he tells us we can talk or kill the settlers into giving us what we want, and then take over the settlement and give it to one of our gangs. I decide to take myself and the disciples to kill everyone in Abernathy Farm, and as I'm sure you can expect, the family don't stand a chance against someone in power armor and a gang of murderous psychos, so we take the farm quite easy. After that, I scare the shit out of some more settlers, and they hand over everything they have and give us a weekly tribute of their supplies. I then continue on taking over dozens of other settlements in the Commonwealth. This got us a trophy for finishing the Home Sweet Home quest, and we got the Hostile Takeover trophy for taking over 8 settlements in the Commonwealth. Power Play is the last trophy in the DLC we have yet to unlock. So after taking over 8 settlements, we speak with Shank, and he tells us that Mags Black and the operators have gone rogue and have taken over the Nuka-World power plant. Before we kill the Black siblings, I decide to wipe out every single operator still within the park itself. With most of the operators dead or scattered, we meet with Mason and Nisha, who have decided to remain loyal, and they want to help us kill the last of the operators. Inside the factory, we see that they don't have enough operators to stop us, they can only slow us down. But as we reach the top, we finally confront the Black siblings. So while I beat the shit out of William, Mason decides to launch 50 fucking grenades at once, which kills Mags, and we follow this up by caving in William's skull. I then restore the power to the rest of the park. Gage then says we have pulled off the impossible, and with the park fully restored, we can really take control of the Commonwealth and enjoy our hard work. Here we got a trophy for finishing the Nuka-World DLC. So back to the main game, we have only 1 trophy left, and this is the Benevolent Leader trophy. Now this trophy requires us to get 100% happiness in a settlement, and most people do this by micromanaging the settlement and building everything to make the settlers happy. I've done this by saving up 10 softshell Mirelurk meat throughout the entire playthrough, and then placing 5 cat cages in an empty settlement. After capturing 5 cats, we then let them out, and after this we built just a random robot, as you need at least 1 person in the settlement. This then got us the trophy for reaching 100% happiness in a settlement, and with that we earned ourselves the Platinum trophy for Fallout 4. So everyone, that was every single trophy Fallout 4 has to offer, which for the most part was a fun experience, with the odd trophy being a bit annoying or time consuming. Both Nuka-World and Far Harbour as well are some of the best DLCs you will ever play, so I couldn't leave them out of this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video though guys, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye.